Thank you. Good morning. It's great to be here to share a little bit about myself. This is my family, my wife Sandra, Sante. Our youngest daughter is downstairs, 15, 14 plus, and our 22-year-old is in New York, she's a model, and my 39-year-old son yesterday is in New York also. I was a single dad with my son Andre when I sent him off to college. A few years later I got married again and we have a separate family, a nuclear family. I was a custodial dad, so very sentimental relationship with my son. I ran for mayor a couple of years ago. I didn't win. I'm on the school board now. Before running for mayor, I was on the city council. And so this is kind of where I am now. I'm on the school board, and I run a small organization called Microgrants. We give small loan grants, rather, to small business people starting up, low-income businesses, and business people, and to people just enter the marketplace after being in poverty for years. So that's what I do, and kind of fascinating for me to think, where did I come from? To here, it's quite a journey. I grew up in Jamaica in a low-income community, and in a British colony at the time. It was a British colony when I was a child up until maybe 12 years. And all of the leadership was British, whites, and every single book exercise book we call them, our notebook, had the Queen on the cover. Every single one. Her Royal Highness, HRH. And all the money, the British, everything was British. And then with that change, we got independence and things started to change. We started to have actually black people on things, which was a mind blower. When I was growing up, no book I read had black people. So imagine. It was only after in my younger years, it was only after I became a teenager that I would see children's books for younger than myself, children of color. And of course, after we started to learn Jamaican history in my older senior high years, from a black perspective, we saw slavery in all of its crudeness in the books that were beginning to be written. So I feel I can't help but feel fortunate to have been born 3 generations. My great-grandfather actually was the last slave in the family. And so, and all of his contemporary masters were Christian people. So, as I come out of that tradition of being a Christian, descendant of a Christian slave master and slave, being a lighter complexion black person, you can see how I might think about that kind of thing a lot. And then being in a country where 5 years before I became 10 years old, the government opened up itself to allow poor kids to go to high school. 5 years before I turned 10, that was not the case. So all poor children did not go to high school. Only people who went to high school, middle class and rich. And so you have to take, then they opened it up, you took a scholarship exam, and all kids who passed this exam could go to high school straight, like 10, 11, 12. But at that time, there was still so much entrapment in poverty, linguistically and culturally, that all the middle class and rich kids passed the scholarship exams, and the poor kids didn't. because their elementary schools were so poor. And so in my elementary school, I was one of 5 kids from 3 families that got a scholarship out of the whole school. Whereas in a middle class, upper middle class school, all the kids got scholarships. Yes. So that decision by the government 5 years before I came of age was on everything preceding that. Jamaica was always a Christian country. And so 5 years before I came of age, the Christians decided to open it up to poor people. So, before I was born, during my life, I saw Christians making decisions that transformed their societies. So looking as a teenager from Jamaica at what was happening in America, where we were still a very classist country, and seeing the church in America, specifically the black church in the South and white Christians who supported them, deciding to change from Jim Crow America to make all people equal. Everybody should vote. Everybody should be able to live anywhere at a point in time when before that point, all were Christians, and then suddenly Christians deciding to tackle these inequities and make a fair country and actually create it, sort of, was very impressive to me. And you can see these events taking shape in my theology of Christians being totally unfair and deciding at some point to be more kingdom-like and becoming fairer. And so, as I became an adult, came to America in 1970, and graduated from college 5 years later, with this industrial design degree, the first thing I did was I headed for the nearest black church, because I felt like this was where that kind of faith transforming community was happening. And I spent about 25 years in the black church working for change, and trying to bring the kingdom into being in society. And got frustrated after a while, because I realized that really it was largely Martin Luther King's vision. It was dragging everybody along, including the black church. And that vision had died with him, and it was more a matter of let's shore up the gains we got, not let lead America to the next stage. And so I've been hankering for all these years for that kind of a transformation. And in my own life, decided to always live in the poor community, no matter what city I had lived in or what job I had. I always lived in the hood, and because I felt that that was where the greatest opportunity was for transformation. So my wife and I live in the Jordan neighborhood. We deliberately chose it. The realtor wouldn't show us a house there, and thought we were crazy. Our friends asked us about it. Christian friends. So it's kind of, I'm always cynical about my own self, my own Christian perspective. Am I really being a good, fair husband, and a good, fair dad? Don't take your I believe in Jesus too seriously. You can be pretty cruel while doing that. And so I always am looking at myself, my church, my Christianity, like that. And so that's how I got into politics. I'd actually gone to seminary, graduated at age 52 from Luther Seminary with an MD degree, ready to start a children's ministry out of our house. And my neighbor across the street, who was a youth pastor from Family Baptist Church, which is a few blocks from us. And by the way, Family Baptist Church was part of a Scandinavian Baptist community, which was at 1250 West Broad River, the school district headquarters is now. And when integration in the 70s happened, and blacks started to move north of Broadway for the first time in history, couldn't before by law. Then blacks started to live around the Baptist Seminary, and the neighborhood started to change. And I guess God decided that that was just not good enough, and the seminary just upped and moved. So even God was starting to leave the hood at a certain point. And I mean literally, through his people, started to leave. And so Bill became one of the pastors there at the church at the seminary left behind. And he was a white guy, farm boy, always had teenagers at his house. They had youth programs. They had 50 teenagers from the neighborhood. And he said, Don, he woke me up and he said, Don, you gotta run. And I said, run from what? So you gotta run for office. It was right after seminary. He said, we have 50 kids in our high school tutoring program, and we think 2 of them might graduate. He said, we don't need another pastor in North Minneapolis. This is a Christian talk. He said, we have pastors, we have ministries, but the government, the administration, the system is not participating in the transformation of the community, and the churches can't do it alone. You can see from my trajectory, eventually that will appeal to me. Even though I did say to Bill, we'll pray about it, which meant in Baptist, leave me in the head alone. But Sandra heard me say, we'll pray about it, and she said, well, let's do it. So we prayed about it, and here we were. We actually, the congressman's aide was the DFL's endorsed candidate, and he had all of the connections. We were working so intensely in our community. We had about 30 plus people that we were working to transform the community, neighbors. And then we were attending a church that was supporting what we had about 70 people working on our campaign. And we just overwhelmed the party and won. And nobody knew me before. So it was really a transformational phase of my life, and I got involved in politics and trying to lead from that perspective, trying to bring the kingdom into reality, opposing very often very good people who are black landlords and who are selfish politicians, Christian people who don't really feel the pain. Don't know what you're talking about. And so I see that as something I can do to shed the light of the gospel, of caring about the least of these, transforming hard hearts into softness, and connecting with people across difference. That when you go home for Thanksgiving and the turkey tastes just like grandma made it, and all of the clan is around, and you leave feeling good, that's not the kingdom. Every society can do that. Even the heathens. Love your enemies. Now you're talking Christian. Now you're talking Christian. Bring the black guy or the black girl to your house, or the white guy or the white girl, and see how your family chafes. Now you're working. Now you're doing real love. That's when God's in the midst. And to begin to distinguish the difference between feeling good and doing good, and to enjoy doing good even more than you enjoy feeling good. That's when you're in the zone. That's when the world is being changed. That's when the kingdom of God comes. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling it. I'm very excited about the future.